The president says he wants to help the middle class. Everybody's saying they want to help the middle class. How do you help the middle class? By taxing the rich.
And by taxing the middle class, in fact, Tom, it's good to be with you. If you look at some of the analyses of the president's budget proposal, $4 trillion that he's announcing right now, if you look at the net, and when all of the numbers are crunched, the average middle class earner actually gets a very small tax burden increase of a couple dollars. So I know he talks a lot about taxing the rich. That has been a theme of his entire presidency: redistribution, fairness, class envy, and that sort of thing. But I think it's difficult. It's a tough pill to swallow when he's coining a term like middle class economics, and his budget will actually increase the overall tax burden for the average middle class earner.
Guy, it's Anthony. Are there any policy prescriptions that both sides could agree on over the next 3 to 6 months? If so, what are they?
Yeah, well, and here's the problem, right? Like, there are a couple in there, one being corporate tax overall, lowering of the rate, the corporate income tax rate. But the president, in his opening bid, this budget he's put out, puts a lot of strings attached to that, like these repatriation taxes and that sort of things that probably won't really fly with Republicans on Capitol Hill. But trying to lower and make a more sensible corporate tax rate is something where there's some common agreement. And another one is, to some extent, infrastructure spending. Conservatives do believe that it's a proper role of government to spend money on infrastructure. The question is, first of all, how do you pay for it? And second of all, in this budget, the president calls for about $500 billion of infrastructure spending over the next 6 years, $478 billion to be precise. And I think what a lot of Republicans on Capitol Hill are going to ask is, all right, hang on, Mr. President, we understand that this is a core function of government, but why is it that you're calling for more infrastructure spending for taxpayers to pay for it when you're threatening to veto the Keystone Pipeline, which that's infrastructure that only requires the government to get out of the way and say yes and let the private sector do its thing?